From this video, we are planning to come up with a new playlist on a latest technology, which is a programming language mainly used for doing backend development, and it is called Golang. So in this video, we will be discussing on Golang introduction and what are the advantages of Golang, and there are what are some application areas where Golang can be used, and some comparisons with other programming languages like C++, Java, Python. Okay, so coming back to the topic. So Golang is an open source statically typed compilation programming language that was developed in 2007 in Google, and it was launched in 2009. The latest stable version of Golang was released on February 11th, 2025 by the time this video was recorded. So to go deeper into the Golang details, first of all, let us try to understand what is statically typed. A language in which variable types are checked at the compile time rather than at runtime. Those kind of languages are called as statically typed programming languages. So once a variable is declared with a specific type, it cannot be changed to another type. Okay, so these kind of languages are called as statically typed programming languages. And the next point we have here is, what is compilation programming language? A programming language where the code is converted into a machine level or machine language or machine code by a compiler before it gets executed. Those kind of languages are called as compilation programming languages. What are the other programming languages that we have? Interpreted programming language. For example, Python. So Python is an interpreted programming language. And whereas if you take Java, Java is a compilation programming language. We have a compiler in Java. Similar way in Golang, we have a compiler, and that compiler takes the responsibility of compiling the code soon after it is written, and it converts the code, the actual code, into a machine level language and before it gets executed. So this Golang, since it has a compiler that takes the job of converting the actual code into the machine code, so it is called as compilation programming language. And where can we download the software of Golang, and how do we install? So if you can go to this particular link which we were displaying on the screen, you can directly get the latest versions of the Golang, and how to install Golang in your operating system is well clearly explained with proper instructions in this particular link. You can have a look at it and you can download it. And if you want to use any kind of editors like Visual Studio or IntelliJ or whatever it is, I prefer doing IntelliJ because I'm fan of IntelliJ. And some developers might be interested in using Visual Studio, and there will be already plugins available if you are using the latest version of the editors. If in case you wanted to download plugins related to Go, either it is for the Visual Studio or IntelliJ, you can download them. And since I am using IntelliJ for my development things, I have found the link where I can download the plugin for Golang and can upload it using my IntelliJ as a plugin. So I have provided the link for IntelliJ plugin. If you want to have a plugin for Visual Studio or any other editor, you can just have a search in the Google and you can download the latest plugin of your choice. Okay. Now, what are the major advantages of Golang? Why should we prefer Golang now, and why it is getting trended in the current market? Basically, the foremost thing is a compiled programming language. Of course, there are other compiled programming languages as well, but there are some more features which are adding more weight to Golang. What are this? So the syntax is very minimal compared to the other programming languages like Java. So where we have in Java classes, inheritance, and all those things. In case of Golang, we have a very minimal syntax. We need not remember a lot more syntaxes here. Okay, and there is a separate built-in feature called Go Routine, which is a very new feature in Golang, and it is very much suitable and it is capable of dealing the highly scalable applications. So, and the next feature we have is next advantage or feature we have is Go routines in the concept in the combination of channel-based communications, which will have a very good effect in the concurrent programming. In other words, to understand in Java terminology, it's a multi-threading. So concurrent programming using Golang will give far good results when compared to the multi-threading which we have in Java. And this is because of the Go routines as well as channel-based communications. How do that works and how we can achieve it, and the comparisons between the multi-threading as well as Go routines based concurrent programming, we can walk through in the latest upcoming videos which we keep uploading. But as of now, to understand better, we have a very good feature or advantage in Golang for parallel processing, which is concurrent programming. And that can be achieved with the help of the features. We have Go routine and channel based communications. And I'm sure that this will have very good results compared to multi-threading concepts which we have in Java. And the next advantage we have here is the Golang has automatic garbage collection. Because of that, memory leaks will be getting reduced because garbage collection process is automatic in Golang. Okay. And as I mentioned earlier, compilation time is very fast compared to other programming languages, and it provides only one executable file, binary file, and there is no need to depend on any external runtime dependencies. And as other programs, Golang is cross-platform and it is very well used for developing cloud native apps too. And Golang has a very good standard, strong libraries. We need not depend on any additional external libraries for most of the common tasks or the functionalities that we need to perform. So Golang itself is coming up with a very good number of standard libraries which are inbuilt and can be used very well effectively. So these are some of the advantages that I can think of when I have to discuss about Golang. Hope I'm clear on this part. Now let's move to the areas where Golang can be used. So these areas are listed here based on my understanding so far with respect to Golang. Ideologies might differ based on the way the things go through or the things we take it up and the things we study. But from my understanding or from my standpoint, so developing or building some high performance web applications and the APIs are the very first thing that we can think of for Golang. And cloud and DevOps tools can be very much effectively developed because of using Golang. And this is mainly because of the concurrent APIs or concurrent programming feature that we have in Golang. And similar way, since because of the concurrency feature, multiple requests can be handled in a very short span of time. It is a very good choice for building scalable microservices. Most of them should be aware of what is a microservice. So these microservices can be very effectively built using Golang, and we can consider Golang as a very good choice for developing microservices. Apart from those, there are some other things like networking and distributed systems. So distributed systems in one way comes again as a microservices only. And there is a good opportunity for us to develop the command line tools with the help of Golang. And it also supports the gaming development. But gaming development, we have support itself in Golang, but I am not recommending Golang as a primary tool for or primary tech stack for developing or doing the gaming development. I still recommend C++ as the first option for doing the gaming developments, but Golang will still support to some extent, but not completely when it comes to the gaming development. Similarly, we have here data science and machine learning. And so there is a support for Golang with respect to data science or as well as machine learning, and Google uses this Golang in some part of their data engineering, but not to the complete level. I still recommend Python for data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. I can only say that there is a support available in Golang for these three areas like data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. But if you ask me which would be the perfect suitable programming language for these three things, I still prefer Python, but there is a support from Golang is still available. And similarly, we have another area called blockchain and cryptography. So these are some of the areas where Golang can be used, but the major area which is currently trending in the industry would be the first thing would be microservices, and the next would be the cloud related applications, and the third would be the web applications. And the other things follows the first three list. Okay, so these are some of the areas, and since it is a very introduction thing, some terminologies might be new to you people, but with our playlist, we'll make you understand things a little better. Okay, so since we covered the areas where Golang can be used, now the next topic in our agenda for this video is comparison of Golang with other programming languages. Okay, so to bring up these things, the comparisons perspective, I have considered some parameters like the syntax and the readability of the code, performance comparisons, memory management, and concurrency support, as well as the compilation and the execution speed, and also the community support that we have. So, considering all these points, I came up with some comparisons where Golang can be used for high performance applications like microservices and cloud services. And the Python will be used for artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science kind of applications. Okay, and the basic thing here is Go has a simpler syntax compared to the other programming languages like C++, Java, as we are not very much inclined to the concepts called class inheritance and other things. And coming to the performance wise, Go is faster than Python and Java, but compared to C++, it is a little slower, but still every programming language will have its own things. So that's where the C++ is used more in the gaming softwares and the system softwares, and that's where Go is not recommended, but Go is mainly used for backend applications. Okay, because and still Go is still faster than Python and Java. So earlier days and all, Java is very much preferred for microservices and backend applications where we need proper scaling and other things. Considering the rapid increment in usage of Golang, we might slowly have to switch from Java to Golang for developing the microservices as well as some backend applications. Okay, and because of the automatic garbage collection things that we have in Golang, the memory management will be very much effective. Okay, so memory management and then the concurrency support, all these things are mainly in line to the scalable backend applications, microservices, and high performance applications. That's where Golang is recommended. And the other areas where the artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, all the things that needs to be dealt with the data related concepts, Golang is not preferable. At the same time, the enterprise applications, when I say enterprise, a monolithic architecture based applications, of course, nowadays most of them were not using it, and most of the legacy applications were also being migrated to microservice based architecture. But still, if there is a requirement that a monolithic architecture based application has to be developed, we cannot do that in Golang. We definitely have to go for Java, and that Go will not support it. And community purpose, community wise, if you see, we have a very good communities for Python, Java, and C++, and you can have a lot of findings as well. for any issues or any kind of things that we are facing. But in case of Golang, it is just growing rapidly, and any kind of hurdles or any issues that we come across, we have to dig down and spend more time in addressing the root cause of the issues. So the I can say on one line, the community support is less for Golang if you compare with Python, Java, and C++. Hope I tried my best to give some understanding on what is Golang and what are the areas that we can use Golang and what are the advantages of Golang and some kind of comparisons with other programming languages. Hope I'm clear on this. Thanks for watching, and that's all for this video.